Hello everyone, so I've got a Dollar Tree haul to share with some gift ideas and some tips and tricks along the way. The first thing I have down here I thought I'd start with because you see this part of my desk is actually kind of a vinyl covering, like contact paper, and the Dollar Tree has these sheets of peel and stick removable fashionable wallpaper, which I might just upgrade this one soon. These are two patterns that they have. This one's a nice similar and wood grain, but also these are great for all kinds of other projects. Like for my art market, I need to use things to have different levels, and also for photography, for staging, for photos and things. So I take if I get a sturdy box, I take it. In fact, I have done this too. I get a Sketchbox subscription every month, so this is a great box. It's nice and sturdy, and I get quite a few of them, and it can be used depending on how you paper it. You can also paper it such that the lid still functions, so you can still use it for storage. Might be a great way to store things in your crafting space, and you just take the paper and cover it to make it look pretty. And I use it for storage, to travel the things, to bring them to and from the market. I only really participate in one market a year, but also I use it as a lift to rise things up, and I'm using this particular box in a cubby as a spacer because my journals are shorter than the depth of the cubby, so there's all kinds of ways to use it. And then here's another item that I found today at Dollar Tree, this little wood block, and it has these, it's already got like these decorations on it. Whoops, that's upside down. But what I thought is I can just cover this with squares of either this peel and stick stuff or even scrapbook paper if I have some wood grain ones, which I've done in the past. I have a wood cube that I papered. Let me see if I can grab it. So these ones right here are just a wood cube, and it measures 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by whatever. So there's 2-inch cubes, and I put scrapbook paper. You can see here that they have, you know, had some love and wear, and this is one way that I've used it. I have attached a clothespin, and then that can hold a picture or things to display it for photographing like cards. I've done that in the past. And it's also a great way to get some lift, but I have these, and I use them a lot in staging and things. These are lighter weight, so it's probably hollow inside, I'm guessing, and maybe MDF or something. But it's sturdy enough, and so even if you just wanted to use it as a display, it's a great thing that you can customize. And so all you need to do is you could peel these off, which may or may not be easy. Let me see here. You know, well, that wasn't too hard, but it did leave some behind. And then glue your squares of paper, and these ones are, the usable surface is 2.5, so it's a little bit bigger, 2.5 square. So I'm excited to use those. I grabbed all 4 of them that were there, and you can use it. I think I started a sentence and didn't finish it, but I was gonna say in your own crafty space or on your bookshelves as just a little decorative element, and so they're great for that. This could also hold up books and things. You know, this one's not too heavy, so it might need some weight or something. But yeah, if it's lightweight and you want to put a spacer, that's great for that. So the next section, I'm going to leave these here, I guess, as a lovely little... Oh wait, before I move on, there is another wallpaper one that I just adore. There's this, shocking, it's full of butterflies, but I really like the blues and the grays there. I do not know what I'm going to use this one for, but it's really sturdy. You can also use it as your cover, putting it onto chipboard or cereal box or anything. This makes an instant beautiful cover for a journal or any other project. So there are some ideas. Here's an interesting item I picked up. This is permanent writable white sticker. So I don't know if it's like write on and wipe off or what, but it's, ooh, and it says not for use with inkjet printers, which I didn't, so you don't want to print this, but it comes in a little roll, 5.5 by 48 inches. And I just thought, I could use that. Again, I don't know what I'm going to use that one for, so it doesn't, that was an impulse buy. But there were several great finds for card makers and crafters. I couldn't believe I found card bases and envelopes, A2 size, $1.25. So I didn't open them in the store, but I'm going to open them right now to see what kind of quality these are. Yeah, it's really lightweight, but if you add a lot of stuff on it, you can use that. So I don't know if I would use the envelopes. They're perfect. I mean, no biggie there. So it's not necessarily the highest quality, this white one. It's heavier weight than the copy paper, but this is much lighter weight than what I usually use in a card base. So I might hesitate to use that as an actual card base, which is, but for $1.25, if you're making cards and you're not like selling them, you know, you're giving them, or you don't need that higher quality base, these are great. Or, you know, maybe you're on a budget or you're just starting out, you don't know if you're gonna like it. This is great for that. I want to see if there's, this one's still pretty lightweight. This is an ivory one. Let's see about the craft one. Sometimes craft is thicker. This is feels a little bit thicker, but still pretty lightweight for card base. But a great starter product for $1.25. You can't really beat that price. But yeah, I don't know if I would, I'm not gonna replace the ones I have with this, but I think if you have someone who's just getting into it and, you know, that heavy weight, or maybe if you're just doing not a lot of dimension, not a lot of weight, because once I put all my stuff on it, it's like, it'll be top heavy, fall over. But these are a great starter item for somebody starting out. Also, I was thinking as far as gift idea goes, if you have grandkids or children, or even just anybody who's into the arts and crafts, and you know that they're not going to need a super heavyweight card base, this would be a great thing to put together a small gift, or maybe stick it in as a stocking stuffer. And we have a couple items that kind of go in that same category. I couldn't believe it. I found some cutting dies. Now, I haven't tried these, so I always like different sizes of parts. So I want to see how these cut out. Maybe I'll just keep them all together like this and try it on my little mini cutter real quick here. I have the Tim Holtz Sidekick. It should fit on there, so it's very well used. This is a lightweight index card. I think it might fit. It might be a little bit too wide, but let me just tear it so that it fits in my Sidekick. Let's see how this cuts, and we've got all three of them. I haven't cut them apart. Oops, I've got it backwards here, but let's do this. And sometimes, you know, I press it down on the desk, but I'm gonna do it twice because that's what I usually do. Now mine is really not in the best shape, so, you know, usually some dies I have to like add extra cardboard, but look at that. Oh, and that's so funny. It made a funny impression, but that won't be there when I cut these apart. It's from this metal part. That's gonna be, you snip that off with some wire snips, but that cut through nicely, and it stuck a little right here, but that, I'm telling you, that happens on this one because look at this. Mine, it's so old. I expect that it would cut out just fine on my bigger, whatchamacallit, what is this thing called? I can't think. I'm completely brain dead. Die cutting machine? Yes, I think that's what it's called. Wow. Okay, another item that I thought, so this is super small, cute. If you have a crafty person, great for stocking stuffer, or you can make a little basket of, say, a card making set. They also had some papers, and I will insert a picture here, I think. They had some foil paper that I thought was really cool, foil cardstock. I didn't open it up. I have so much of that. I didn't buy it, but I thought that would be fun. They also had different scrapbook paper. I didn't take a picture of that, but another item I thought would be super handy for card making, of which I do not need anymore because I have so much of it still in my stash, but they had these beautiful flowers and they have the little pearl bead on them. Yeah, I thought those were great. I didn't flick through it to see. I only saw the one color, but you know, every Dollar Tree might be different. Now, in addition to that, so if you were making a little basket for a gift, those would be some fun things to add. And so I think that's a great idea. This is an acrylic stamping block. I think it has some, what do you call it, plastic on there, but I was having a hard time deciding. I just have a set of butterflies here that's on some, I think this might be photopolymer, but I'm not sure. So it goes on there. Look at that. I love, they had 2 acrylic type stamping blocks available. And this one has the grid lines, which I like to get things straight. The other one did not have grid lines, but it's a nice thin profile. I have some old ones from close to my heart. These are nice and thick. They have a good handhold on them. But sometimes, especially for like a journaler and you do travel journaling, I sometimes liked to bring the thinner one with me because it takes up a lot less space. So you can slip this in a bag, bring it along with you, and some alphabet stamps, and do some on-the-go travel journaling or just embellishing. But also, if somebody you know is maybe thinking about getting into crafting or they don't have a lot of supply, this is a super affordable way to get into some of that stamping. Or say you're getting a card kit, and it doesn't come with the acrylic block. If the person is new to this, now all my card making friends, you probably have a ton of these already. This I thought was great for starting out, $1.25, and boom, you can use all of the different smaller cling stamps. So some of them are going to be too big, but for this size, and you need something larger. But if you have an old CD case, that can work. I don't think it's very comfy to use, but it can work. But you know, use what you have, and then you can get and see if you want to invest further. If you absolutely love it, then maybe you want to spend more money on a bigger, better block. But this one is great for what it is. What else did I find there? Okay, so I have some comparison items. I picked up a couple things for myself. If you do like the electronic die cutting, there's all kinds of different supplies that are great to use with that. This is a craft spatula, which I use this for spreading gesso, heavy body acrylic paints, different glues, but it's also good for getting a die cut off of a electronic die cutting mat, which this little scraper is also good for that as well. Sometimes I use these scrapers for cleaning my desk. Sometimes I use it for spreading mediums like different gel things and texture paste. And another thing I use it for a lot is if I have 2 pieces of paper that I've glued together, just burnishing to get that to stick well. And then also if I make a fold, excuse me, I will use sometimes something like this to get the fold nice and burnished down as well. So you see that? Now I thought I would compare items that I have. So I was curious. I can always use more of these little spatula things because I use them a lot. But this one I think is ready to be retired. And I used to use it for my Cricut. It is a Cricut. It is more than a decade old, and it is the first one I got. Probably paid $10 to $15 for a set of 4 or 5 accessories. So this is the old style there. And then this one, maybe 5 or so years more, I got the newer set. Now, one thing I noticed, because I haven't used this in a while, is this part has become sticky. I don't like the feel of it. So, I mean, this one looks like a big upgrade compared to that, but I might just retire this one just because that's yucky to feel. And this right here, I think it's designed to look like this one. Look at that. Compare those two. Let's zoom in. That's as far as we can get on zooming in. They look pretty close. This one, I do notice a little bit of maybe residual beveling, so there might be some different quality issue there, but as far as the spatula goes, I don't think it's gonna affect the way you use it. Do you see that? Oh, I hope that's focusing. And this one is not super clean, but you can see that that is not, you know, it's a smooth finish all around there. But yeah, I don't like that feel. I think it was probably higher end when it was new, but now it's sticky. This one's just plastic, so it's not gonna have that issue as it ages. They also had something similar to this one. This one, the sticky's a little bit, but it's not as noticeable. And I use this one for scoring. I think this one can fit in the Cricut. That's what that arrow is for. But don't get me started on the Cricut. My Cricut has been a giant expensive paperweight for a while. It hasn't been working. That's a long story, and I ran out of energy trying to get it to work, so maybe I'll try again. Spent a long time on customer service with that one, but this also works as just a regular stylus for scoring with a scoring board. Now, they also have these, which I like, from the Dollar Tree. They're pokey tools. These ones, they're not super long, so, you know, this one's probably better for doing holes in a thicker journal, which I have a few different pokey tools around here. This one I like, too. It can go different lengths. This one's from Tim Holtz. And why do I have so many of these, you might ask? But I find that when I'm just grabbing one quickly, I do grab these Dollar Tree ones often. I think it comes with both of these, 2-pack for $1.25. I bought these ones probably for $1. The caps don't stay on too well, but you know, that doesn't bother me. The thing I love to use these ones for, more than these ones, the fancier ones, I will show you. When I'm using double stick tape and laying it down, I really like grabbing one of these tools to help me get it off. Let's just put a little piece. I don't want to use a lot. So there, I've got it down. That's another thing I might use this scraper for, burnishing that down to get a nice good stick. And then I take the pokey end, but the thing that I like about these tools is this end here is angled, so a lot of times I use it to press the tape down, and then I can come like that, and I can either grab it like that and pull it off, or just use my finger, and super handy. And these were just something I picked up at the Dollar Tree, and they're actually my preferred one for that type of use. Now, the Cricut tool, this is that sticky, yucky part, but this is the one that is the branded one, and this is the Dollar Tree one. This is interesting. I'm not really sure what the purpose of this texture is. It might get gunky over time if you know, have sticky, gluey hands, but it kind of feels nice, and so maybe it's just to get a better grip on it as you're holding it, because it's pretty small. The hole here is larger. You can hang this, but you know, I can fit my finger in there, so there's a lot of different ways to hold it. This one, you're not going to be able to hold it like this, or at least I'm not, because I can't really fit my finger in there. So surprisingly, there might be some things I think are better. They're definitely different on the Dollar Tree version of this particular item. And so there's another tool. I don't have the Cricut one out here, but it's a weeding tool for when you're doing vinyl and you can pick out the little inner pieces. You can use these pokey tools for that, but they also have one styled like this that has kind of a hook on it at the Dollar Tree, so very interesting options there. I also found They had 3D like fabric paint. I have a whole bin of it from years past that I still have, so I didn't buy any, but I thought that was pretty intriguing. If you like to work with clay, they had this pack of air dry clay. Uh-oh, is it open? It's open, and yet, thankfully, I think it's sealed on the inside. I didn't realize that it's not white. I don't know why I thought it would be white. It is this terracotta color. I got this for my daughter to try out because she kind of likes to do air dry clay items. And in this picture that I showed, on the top right, there's a whole set of tools for working with clay that might be fun to try. I didn't get those because I don't really need them. But it says 24 hours approximate drying time. This is an interesting item to try, and it's not too expensive to try out. Another thing that I got for my daughter, because I already have a ton of things like this, is this multi-use acrylic gloss finish. I don't know how good this is, but I thought it was interesting. I haven't seen it there before. She is making some coasters, and I thought, hey, maybe she could use this to paint onto the top to seal it. It says paper, ceramic, glass, terracotta, canvas, wood, etc. I think the coasters are cork, so we'll have to try that out. It's only 1 ounce. The only thing I was thinking is, I don't know how many of them she can seal with this, but thought it was interesting to try. And I think that's it for today. Oh, one last thing I did pick up more of is this. $1.25. I have not done the math. Obviously, it's probably a better deal to buy it in bulk. Actually, I'm sure it is. But the thing I like about this smaller bottle is I have it right here on my desk within reach. And for the smaller projects, I like to have something smaller. And what I usually do is just refill it with the bigger one. But this bottle is getting a little bit beat up. And so I just picked up another one while I was there. Well, I hope you enjoy seeing those items. Let me know in the comments, what would you make with the little Dollar Tree crafty supply items? What kind of gift basket or compilation would you like to make? And yeah, and let me know what was your favorite item you saw in this video as well. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful and creative day.